Hello, welcome to another episode of Into the Pot, the weekly show where I review different pieces of media, what they meant to me, and how they've changed and added flavor to the stew of my life. Today we're talking about the Netflix movie Train Dreams. As always, I'll start with a spoiler free look at what I thought was good and then what I thought was bad, and finish off with spoilers to discuss the themes and details that resonated with me. With that in mind, let's start off with the good. Now, I had heard a lot of things about Train Dreams, and to be honest, I was excited to watch it. A lot of people said it was really good. My God, I was blown away by this movie. The cinematography of Train Dreams was so beautiful, and the overall narrative of the plot was incredible. Simple, elegant, haunting, beautiful. It was like a movie that I felt that I needed, but I didn't know what I needed exactly. So I am happy to say that I really love this movie. Everything about this movie I really loved. I actually really loved the dialogue of the movie. I think it was very like to the point to where every moment that they spoke to each other, it was like important. And the narration was beautiful. It's one of those movies that wholly benefits from narration. I think a lot of movies would benefit from narration, but this movie, like, it elevates it so much to have the narration and just to have the overall cinematography and the wilderness and the color grading and the soundtrack. Oh, it's like a masterpiece of a film. I cannot emphasize enough that I watch a movie like this and I'm like, oh my God, this is cinema. This is incredible. I absolutely loved it. So I cannot emphasize enough. There is just so much good to it that I want to get into the spoilers and talk about the themes, but I'll wait because now that the good is out of the way, let's discuss the bad about the movie. Now, I will say this is not a movie for everyone. Train Dreams is a movie that is slow, thoughtful, methodical, and very, very intimate. It is very simple. And because of that, I think a lot of people are not going to like this movie, which is totally fine. I, was a little bit sleep deprived with this movie too. And I could feel myself going like, oh, I could sleep at this moment. It was so relaxing and serene and not typically what you see in Netflix movies, to be honest, because Netflix movies, what are they doing, right? You're scrolling your phone while they're talking about the thing 10,000 times. So that's how Netflix movies are. But Train Dreams was somber, it's depressing. It was just filled with grief and loss, and everything was just so slow about it that I think that's my only takeaway, that though I didn't find it necessarily bad, I don't think a lot of people will like this movie. I think it's not meant to be entertaining. It's meant to be art. And by God, I love art. So if this hasn't persuaded you, like, you should definitely watch this movie, because now that the bad is out of the way, let's talk about the themes and details that resonated with me, and beware, there will be spoilers ahead for this part. So I cannot tell you how this movie felt. It was incredible. My wife and I were watching this movie, and she turns over to me and she's like, why do I feel like I want to cry? And it was like very early in the movie, and I was like, oh my God, like me too. And by the end of it, like, we were bawling, right? It was just like, as soon as those credits hit, I was just like, tears. It was so beautiful. I loved the idea of connection to the world and feeling like, where's your place in it? And I loved that it was a very simple story about a very simple man, to honestly, to many people, would feel so insignificant. He was a nobody. Like, there was nothing about him that was what we would describe as significant. But the idea was that he didn't have to be anything big. He was a human being. He had this whole life a part of him, right? And he carried the grief and the love and the moments that we all share with our unique humanity. And it's like, by the end of it, you feel connected to this person, this simple man who lived a life that is entirely not your own. And it's such a beautiful feeling. And I think William H. Macy's character was really on top of that, where he was, everything is so beautiful around us. And his death in the movie was shocking, because I really love the line where it was like, he had always spoke about, like, when you cut trees, it's like a battle, like, you're fighting the tree but he died by a falling branch, a tree that he was not even fighting with. And the person says, like, I don't know what lesson to take from that. And it's like, oh my God, like that's so profound. It's the idea like there's no lesson. There's it's all just entropy and chaos, and the history of man from everything is just chaos, right? They nail those shoes to the tree and it's like those are just shoes. But within the chaos and the entropy is where we find love and meaning and purpose, and those shoes on that tree is not just shoes, it's the history that that person exists, that humanity was here. And God, I cannot emphasize enough like how emotional that feeling is. And then the grief that he loses his wife and child, that is a movie moment where I'm like, "Oh my God, are they gonna come back?" And they just never do, and I feel so heartbroken that he has to go through this life without them. And I loved the Firewatch lady, how she would come in and she would be like, "I also have grief, and I just don't know what I'm still doing here. Like, why are we still here?" The main character, he delivers a solid line of just like he hears them and he doesn't want to look because they might leave. And it's just that haunting the memory of it because the movie's all about our ancestors, the people who made America, like the grief and the life and haunting them. And it's the idea like, why did they stay after their grief? Like, what was their purpose or their meaning of their life? And I really love that because even though his wife and child are gone, he serves as an anchor for so many people. He helps people in the town. He cares for them. When the dogs come, he takes care of them. He loves them. They become part of his new family. When that girl comes over where he thinks it's his daughter, she was on the verge of death and he helps her. He saves her life and then she disappears in the wind, right? So it's that idea that had he not been there, not that he, wasn't supposed to be gone or anything else like that, but humanity leaves an impact. And the most insignificant man can cast a very large shadow. And that's what I loved about the movie. It was about what we leave behind and feeling connected to the world and our ancestors and people of the past because they have existed. And my God, I could just go on and on just about that feeling, but it's such a beautiful film. I cannot emphasize enough how much I love this film. It blew me away. I was not expecting it to be like as good as it was, but my eyes were glued to the screen. I was captivated by its beauty. And now the soundtrack is on repeat. That ending song that I would not listen to a song typically like that is just another one that I feel grounded and I recognize my place in this world and what impact I'm going to leave behind now. So, by God, amazing movie. Incredible. So, with all that in mind, I would gladly give Train Dreams a score of 10 out of 10. So, there you have it. I gave you my thoughts and opinions about what Train Dreams meant to me. And now, I want to hear what you all think about it down in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions about it and the general consensus? Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more. As always, check the links in my description for my main video essay channel and my Patreon to help support the channel and recommend media for me to review next. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.